Yes, yes. What's going on, family? How we doing? Back in our building. Hey, I'm RL, so we got a I gotta make my own sound effects, But we are back in the building. What's going on, family? Well, Saturday. Yes. And as you see, starting right on off with Boss 2.0 back in the building. Yes. Missed you, family. It's good to see our beloved co-host back in the building. It's been a busy couple weeks and stuff. We'll get to catch up here in a minute. But it is good to see y'all. What's going on, family? 10 a.m. PST getting started with another Onaji Saturday on this Pi Day. Yes, for the math heads out there. Hey, it was Friday the 13th yesterday for, the spooky season homies. And then today, the math homies going in with, on Saturday, Pi Day. So what's going on, family? I hope everything's going good. Let me get some comments on the screen real quick. Dubs, hey, driving and lurking. All right. Drive safe, my guy. Z in the building. It's good to see you, family. Thank you for so much for pulling up yesterday, showcasing what you've been working on, man. Keep killing it, keep grinding, going in. But yes, boss. What's going on, family? Dina comes back in the building. It's so good to see you. What's the word? How you doing?
All is well. Now that I was saying I've been getting my Saturdays back on track. Extra excited to be back with the U. I feel like it's been like 6 weeks, if not a little bit more than that. I have truly been counting down the Saturdays. To get back in the building to be with the fam. No, it's good, truly. Like going into spring break, hallelujah. Very much needed. Very, very much needed. So excited to go into spring break, excited to have a bit of my life back. School and freelance teaching has just really been taking up so much. I was like, oh yeah, I can do a couple of these things and be okay. It truly like just overtook everything, which is a blessing but a curse because the bandwidth got real small. But yeah, so glad to be back. I always kept up popping in on lunch when I can. I've been loving the attention in interviews. Congratulations on over 200. Like we jump over the hump now on the down end, so the momentum's continuing to go and probably gonna pick up some more too. But yeah, just excited to be back. I didn't even think about today being Pi Day, especially everybody was talking about yesterday being Friday the 13th. So I look up and I'm like, it is Pi Day. I feel like I need to go in like get some dessert. I've been feeling like some chocolate lately.
That's too funny. Boss, what's the pie choice? What's the go-to?
Ooh, douche. Off the top, it's either gonna be key lime or pecan.
Okay,
that's one of those two. I'm not an old school classic like apple fan, strawberry, cherry fan, nah. It's probably gonna be pecan pie or key lime pie, something like that.
That's what's up. Yeah, if I have to do a pie, it's probably apple. But for the desserts for me, it's probably like, banana cream. That could be considered.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's
a
good one. No, that's a good one. No, for real, that's a good one.
For sure.
That's a real good one.
For sure. Heck yes. It is good to see you. It is day 209. We did hit that 200 milestone. Sat down, had moms come through. That was a crazy dope undivided attention. Undivided attentions have been ramping up like crazy. We just had Ritzy the other day as well too. That was a goated conversation. And announcement this next week. Hey, boss. Yes, boss back in the building for sure.
Hey,
friend. In the building. It's good to see you. Next week we've got actually 3 of them lined up. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yes. I got my little Calendly life together. I'm trying to be organized, boss. I'm trying to be organized. Clock it. But yeah, so we got some special guests coming through. More ladies, for Women's Her Story Month. So it's been a blast. On Monday, we're sitting down with Sababa. I actually tapped in with her. She's been one of the coolest welcoming people over on the Orb side, over on Lens chain, especially with the Palace app, Hey, all that good stuff. So that whole ecosystem, the Lens chain side has been going in. We gotta get you over on Orb because it's a time. I know it's another social media network, but it's like Yeah, it's ramping up. It's ramping
We'll
up.
get on it.
That's what,
I'm down. I'm down. Like, I feel like
yeah,
I gotta refresh everything. So like,
right.
catch me up. I know I missed the whole the lobster gate, and all the bot stuff. I was keeping my mind, the eyes and ears on it, but I know I missed all that. But no, I'm ready to jump back in the game, especially now. So like, but I feel like I've heard of Orb. I feel like I might already have the mobile app, or I've got
Okay.
something, or before, so I'm already familiar. It's nice. It's probably been a minute since I opened that baby up. I will say that,
Right.
but yeah, I might just need a quick refresher, real quick, get back in the game.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So yeah, so on Monday, just sitting with Sababa or Sam. You didn't miss too
Mhm.
much with the lobsters. Facts. That was a come and go for the show, a trend, if you will. But then on Wednesday, got another special guest, and then on Friday, all of them 10 a.m. PST. So aligning with the cool little time slot we got going. Yeah, I see through in the building. It's good to see you, family. What's the word? So we're gonna have some more amazing conversations this week, and just keep it going. Filling those daily streams in between, and keep it rocking. So yeah, like you said, boss, it's like you hit that 200, just kind of the downslide, that momentum. It's like I'm feeling at a nice little pace. I'm getting into well beyond like what you call it, habit land. It's just
Yeah, it's a part of your life now.
yeah, for better or for worse. No, just kidding. No, it's a real good time. It's a real good time. So yeah, so boss, tech news. I mean, shout out to the fam. This is Onaji Saturday. We got Dina Combs, our right hand, back in the building for the show. Uh, and this is our longest running segment, right? We've been doing these Onaji Saturdays since 2022, February, and just been talking and aligned with our mission to help Black, Brown, and Allied folks learn and grow in emerging technology. And we're gonna have some amazing conversations. Uh, the emerging tech that I've been focused on heavily for forever is the blockchain side, more specifically niche down, the NFTs, the art side, the music layer, all that good stuff, where the art lives. Also, the fungible side, all those tokens, but AI has been going crazy. And boss, I've been in the prompt code. I don't want to say vibe code, hey vibe code, but my AI code, prompt code, whatever we're calling it, coding bag lately. The past week, my computer been running around the clock. I can lie.
I feel like I've been seeing more of it though. Like I've been
Yeah,
over on campus, and like that tech chat, that LLM chat, y'all going
yeah,
in like big time, big time.
yeah.
And what are we not calling it vibe coding anymore? Like,
I mean, I did well. That was a while ago. I think it was like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just did. I was prompting live and just having a conversation with Gemini, and I was like, I don't really like the vibe code thing because that's not the vibe. So I feel like it was just like another co-opted term for the tech bros, and it was yeah. Though from what I was seeing on my timeline, especially during the lobsters, it's like they didn't know what the vibe was. So I was like, nah, we nah.
all right, so we leaving it alone. We leaving it alone. We put it in the trash with NFT and community and utility and roadmap. That way,
It was giving a little of that for sure.
got it.
It was giving a lot of that. So, but no, but the fundamental tech behind it, what was going, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. But I mean, it might be. It might be. We got to keep a little cultural relevance in this thing for sure. A nerdy dude coined the term, and we went with it. Well, but then you say all you need to say. He said all you need to say. It all happened in real time on Twitter. I am crying. But yes, in that tech channel, you guys join the Discord. Exclamation point Discord. Hop in the cord. I see through. Better Call Saul. A lot of the homies have been going crazy, just showcasing what they're building. Just sharing and what they're learning, and it's like 2022 all over again. Let's get it.
That's what it's been feeling like. Truly,
Yeah.
that's what it's been feeling like. Like, we go through these ups and downs, and I was like, okay, like I'm liking where we're headed with some of this tech stuff, especially with the AI stuff. Being on the classroom side, our district uses a lot of Gemini tools, and so
Okay.
I've really been diving really deep, like as the bandwidths have gotten smaller, and using a lot more of those to help like streamline my workflow. Recently, I put a whole proposal together using Notebook, LLM, and then almost put together a little baby kind of workshop during a conference one day because I sent the proposal out to the administration, and they were like, well, how did you make this? And I was like, in the tools that the district gave us.
Hey, yo.
And so a couple of teachers were like, oh, okay, like walk us through how to do it. So I had like a little impromptu like workshop, like, okay, you got to find these sources, which is the information that I just used myself, that I had been researching on the stuff I was proposing, and popped it over in Notebook, and was like in real time using like the infographics and all the other stuff that they have unlocked for us, and showed them how to make this like bang up proposal. And then here it goes. 2 weeks later, I look in the newsletter. It's all, you see the little Notebook LLM down here at the bottom.
Yo.
So I feel like I started all the new type of stuff, and then I see Gemini is now getting into sound as well. So I've been really excited to kind of see some of that, jump into that, even though we've been doing that for a good long time. I want to see what Gemini's gonna make with it.
Yeah, facts, huge facts. Speaking of AI, speaking of Gemini and those tools, Google tools, we got IC through in a building. Let me pull my guy up on stage. What's going on, family? Yes, I see Dina Magic, and he's been creating magic left and right, y'all. What's the word?
What's up?
Yes, sir. But yeah, boss, I've been heavily using a lot of the Google tools and
What's up?
anti-gravity. Hey, there you go. Yep, you here. Get it in.
No, I thought I was talking. I was saying, "What's up, boss?" Just glad to see boss back. That's the main thing. I was, enjoying hearing about the NotebookLM workflow. I think that's a great tool. But go ahead, B. Finish what you were saying.
No, you good. I was just waiting for you. You good. It's good to see you. Welcome back. And actually, you Saturday for show. Yeah, me and I have been cooking up on these last couple of Saturdays. Been going in, having some awesome conversations. I've been heavily, in the Google tools ecosystem. A lot of it's free. A lot of it's really easy to use. A lot of people have access and stuff. Jump in a building, build an amazing family. It's good to see you. But yeah, I've been using NotebookLM for a long time with the transcriptions on the videos. And I know, there's a little delay between like when YouTube loads it and all that good stuff, and then when I can upload it. I am working on like kind of pivoting and building my own flow and stuff. But right now, it's working nicely, and I've been posting a bunch of the different blurbs that I'm getting from this, little super prompt. A lot of masculine energy on the screen. Hey, I know that's why that's why jump you out. I think and that's it's Women's Her Story Month. That's why I had to triple it up this next week too.
Big time. It's been going in with that.
Yes, have to. Especially Hey Miss V be like, I ain't trying to listen to another all men's podcast type vibe. So
come on, say it. Where's she at? Come on, sis.
But I've been utilizing NotebookLM just to have a workflow around these streams and daily streams, and it's been cool. I've been able to take those little short form different writing content pieces, put them on Twitter, put them wherever else, and drive a lot of traffic to the YouTube page, to the Twitch, and the numbers have been numbering. So I was like, okay, that's a solid little flow. I like it. But now anti-gravity, that's a whole new different ballgame. I am locked in to anti-gravity. And there's probably other easier options and stuff too, but no, for me, that IDE is going ham. And I'm using Claude Code inside of it.
I've heard of it, but I haven't gotten a chance to experiment with it. Like, explain to me like you're my cousin.
Good,
No, I was going to say, why don't you explain why you are enjoying it so that they have context for like what you like about it versus all the 75 other things they might hear about or see on their timelines.
Well, one, it's free. So yeah, for me, I'm a big proponent of trying to find like the tools that are accessible for everybody, approachable. And once you are like oh, this extra thing costs $5 a month. This extra thing costs $20 a month. This extra thing costs 35. This extra thing costs 200 a year. Like, no, when we start adding all that up, that's not really feasible for, me personally for one, and just other creatives and other people out there that I want to get this information out to. A lot of the workshops I've been doing, for the kids and stuff, they're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So anti-gravity is Google's IDE, so it's its coding interface that has the ability to have LLMs or the chatbots, the AI models inside of it. So basically it's the AI prompting little engine, little interface, and it's a good time. I think some of the alternatives out there though, like Visual Studio Code, it basically is like Google's Visual Studio skin essentially. Visual Studio Code is also free, but this is just like it's just easy. It's just easy. It's Google, man. They make it so user friendly and easy to set up and run and use. And you're not locked into just using like the Google AI engines. You can use Claude. You can use GPT inside of it. You can use, you probably, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
He says a lot. Yeah, but I mean, basically, what you're describing is the similar experience that you have with all of them, or at some point they'll all kind of copy each other. So one might have a feature that the others don't for a week or two, but then they'll have their version of it. But Google is very generous with the free usage. Also, right now, OpenAI has been very generous. Not as generous, but they're being very generous too. That's mostly PR. Google is more generous because they're training off all of that. So, there's an incentive there. But I think the good thing for people to have is an option that is allowing them to actually make something, because a lot of them give you free usage, but it's not enough to finish. You can get started and then you end up having to buy in to really make the thing. So I think that anti-gravity is a really good tool because the AI is built into it. So it's not Visual Studio Code is made for coders before AI existed, in this capacity. So AI in that setup is kind of an add-on, whereas anti-gravity, Gemini is built into it. So it's like you're talking to Gemini in a coding environment, as opposed to you're trying to add on AI to an existing coding environment. It's already kind of primed and ready for you to have a conversational relationship with it. And I think that's an easier hurdle for people to, okay, let's make something. It's easier.
It's true. It's true. I'm having a blast. Yeah. A couple of light bulb moments. I'll talk about it. But yeah. I kind of went on a little rant this morning too from the X page. I don't know if y'all seen that, but yeah, it's all good though.
But I would say, you haven't really missed much, boss. It's just people feeling a lot of the same energy that we saw with people with the image generation stuff, is the ability to make something that they couldn't make before. And I think it captures that same feeling. And I think there's not any stigma around it because it's code and it's not considered an artistic expression. So nobody feels like you're stealing from anybody or doing it, impersonating a developer. You're not catching that heat, because you made an app with AI. Nobody cares if it works. So I think it makes people feel welcome to try to make something. And the more you see other people doing it, the less of a ordeal it feels like. It doesn't feel like, oh, I got to learn the code. You're starting to see that you really don't.
How do you feel about that shift? Because I've been noticing that as well too, and like I'm trying to imagine 5-10 years down the line. It's hard. Let me see. I got boss pulling it. We're gonna pull that up right now. You ready?
No, you go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
You good?
Got distracted. My fault. No, I just like, is this the way we're going? Like people are just going to be able to, and eventually not even type it, just talk it out to these engines, these bots, and create what we need to create. Like I'm having a hard time really kind of fathoming what that looks like, just because I'm shocked at what the landscape looks like now. Like I'm having a hard time wrapping around what do I want to create, but then I'm like, okay, let's just make like, unfortunately for some of these tools out there, where like people are like, let's just make an alternative to this paid tools that I'm paying for. I don't really even know what I'm paying for if I could just make them now. So,
but I mean, that's value, right? Because
yeah,
I think that you're expressing something that's completely valid that a lot of people struggle with is I don't know what to make.
Mhm.
And that's you know, it's a weird thing to struggle with because you feel like you should be able to do something with this tool. You see other people making something cool, like, you know, you like, why can't I figure out something? It's the same reason that you maybe haven't figured out how to make an invention that's on Shark Tank. Like everybody's just not sitting around with, you know, multi-million-dollar ideas just popping out all the time. Some of that stuff takes time to nourish and cultivate, and has to start somewhere. And you can get lucky, but that's luck. So, you know, I think to get your reps in, what you're talking about is at least a starting point, and you're adding value to your own life by making an alternative to something you were paying for. I think that's a really cool way to approach it. Or even something that you can't afford to pay for. That's really, if you think about it, like forget the ones you're already paying for. What about the one you can't afford to pay for that you want? That's the one you should try to make. Like the one that's super ambitious, like that you really don't even understand how you would make it. Like that's the long-term project, I would say. If you don't have an idea of your own, that's something you can aim for, where you can make progress and do levels and really learn as you go.
That's a good point. That's a good point. My guy Zeus in the building. Dubs, it's good to see you, family. Welcome in. What's the word, fam? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Yeah, 1,000%. You know, I didn't even think about that because to me, you know, my mindset is like, oh, if I can't afford it, it goes in one ear, out the other. I kicked that out of my brain. Like, oh well. So maybe I had to revisit that. Like, yeah, some of these overpriced things, see what I can cook up. But
so you're already over here, be like the conversation kind of took it in that way, but I think this is the tweet that you were talking about. This one right here that I'm
okay,
going to plethora.
yeah,
I went to find
it
it to pull it up. I went to find it to pull it up and be like, let's get into it. Because I
all
feel
right,
like a
let's do
lot of
it.
people do feel like this sometimes. Like when we have the tools that have been made to make it easier, well, like what dying, like if people had access to this, or if we were
Yeah,
given easier or quicker access to some of these tools, we could have been at a different place a long time ago. And I know that we're here now, but you know, I see you kind of listed some of those down there that kind of sometimes can keep people from pursuing it in that best way. And I think there's already talking about take that big idea and just start somewhere with the tools that are available,
right.
which is super great. But I do kind of sometimes still feel like people are held back, even though it does look easy. They do have some of this like bias, the ego, the embarrassment, the afraid to be wrong, the afraid of, you know, after it's built, what am I going to do with it then?
Yeah,
Sometimes that gets in the way of people really kind of stepping into what it is.
huge facts. You know, and yeah, I was in the gym and it was in between reps, and I'm like, yeah, I was really just like, dang, I wish, you know, the easiest way to learn something is just to see something and to be able to just watch this bot building these apps, multiple different apps across different genres and whatever, and using different code languages, like just to watch that, like so many things was like, like that was me watching Claude code, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like we could have did this, I could have did this years ago, but instead it's like, you know, go to university, study these old things in these books. You'll figure it out. It was, you know what I'm saying? It's a very gate kept thing. For what reason? That's where I was like, okay, unless we're trying to block the flow of knowledge, because the best way, we all know, you know, the apprenticeship. You know, just go get thrown into the fire and watch the professional and be in that environment and watch them do what they do. And I did that with the bots, and I was like, so much from like the last 20 years of trying to learn code over these years came together, and I was like, Oh crap. Okay, I'm getting it now. So that was that. That was that.
Well, I will say that there are definitely boot camp models out there where they have proven that you don't have to go the traditional route to get the knowledge. I think there's not enough of the boot camps that exist. There's not enough people that know they exist in the areas where they are. But that is a good model that I just want to point out that does exist that addresses what you're talking about. And in this environment, they probably have pivoted by necessity to probably trying to teach people about AI because they probably have fewer people that are coming to them to learn coding like they used to have. So that's something to even consider, that they have to, probably change some of their business models in some cases because it's so easy to do it this way. Yeah, I think even with the AI coding, some of those things that you pointed out can still get in the way of people using it effectively because it's the same obstacles that prevented them from doing the coding in the first place. So I think you have to get to a place where, that's why I said it's a good idea to start with, let me just try to make the thing I'm using but for free, or make my version with extra features, or make the thing that I can't afford. Like that's the easier thing to tackle than coming up with an idea, because you don't have to put that kind of pressure on yourself. Ideas sometimes just have to come to you. It's a spark ignites the fire, so to speak. The spark hasn't maybe happened yet, but you can. I see people stressing themselves out trying to force it, trying to put pressure on themselves to come up with something, or try to make something that they probably know isn't a good idea work just for the sake of making it work. And I think, as I have dabbled in a little bit in the open source community in these GitHubs, there's something to be said for just making something that works without trying to make it like a business thing or something where you profit off of it. So just keep building whatever you're building, keep making whatever it is you're doing on Lovable. It doesn't matter. You don't have to, it's not a contest. You don't have to have anybody's approval for your output. If you're excited about it, I love it.
That's the word, though. That's the word. Because I feel like that's in not necessarily direct, but there is such a big push now to like monetize everything, like whatever you build, put it out there and have somebody pay for it, and new income streams, and commercializing every part of your life. And I mean, I feel like let's normalize. Let's just creating for creating's sake. We say that a lot with art, but I don't really say. I think this is probably the first time I've heard it said in, I guess we can say, in a tech way. So I don't know, that just kind of like flipped the switch a little bit in my brain. Y'all know how averse I am to like coding and dev stuff, even though like having some ideas and taking some steps for me have been those small ways of like that proposal that I made. I'm probably looking at not returning to my same position, but I want to have something better for the people that came after me. So I'm like, okay, how can I compile all this information that I have and make it accessible in a way for people who come after? And I'm like, well, they're not gonna be able to take it from the ways that I have right now. So I'm gonna have to like make something standalone. And I've been in my brain thinking about, okay, how do I compile all this information, make it standalone so I can send it to whoever it is who might be here after me. And that for me was kind of like just a little switch of like, okay, well, maybe you can jump in and try to figure some of this out and make this tool where you can compile all this information, make it searchable, some database, some type of something like that. And not have to be so concerned with other pieces that I have in my brain of like, okay, what am I going to do with it after that? How can I parlay it into something else? Like, just create with it, experiment with it, like we've talked about for art and with music and all this other type of stuff. And like that was kind of beneficial right there. So that was a little word I see through. I mean, you always got the word, but a little word right there.
And I'll tell you, because I'm all about intention. So I said that purposefully, and I'm glad you picked it up that way, because that's how I see it. It is the same at this point of a mental exercise as creating, because you the idea aspect of it. If you're trying to learn how to paint or draw or dance or whatever, you can't necessarily be in the learning phase and the expert phase at the same time.
Exactly.
There's a point where even as you become an expert, you still learn, but you're not doing them at the same time. You got to take one hat off, put the other. So I think getting your reps in without the concern of the final product, that's what practice is. So it's the same thing. And because we're talking about making things, yes, it's different because you are not necessarily by hand making something, but the whole thing with this vibe coding, if you're making anything that's of any sort of effort, there is a back and forth. There is a relationship with what's going on. You have it show it to you. You don't like it, you ask for this. You're becoming a product manager, or whatever it is. This weird business hierarchical relationship that people are putting around it, because that's how they know how to vocalize this type of thing. But fine, if that's what you have to go with, then you're the product manager, the project manager, business, whatever. If that works for you, but that's really more the relationship. But I feel like when you kind of have made enough little attempts, what you end up with, boss, is a portfolio. And then you have something that you can actually show people. And if you've made a whole bunch of little projects, by the time you've done that, you know how to clean it up and make it presentable. So it's not just your sloppy portfolio, just like when you have an artist portfolio, you do your edits, you give them the nice way. But just having done all of that little stuff, you come out at the other end in a way that's putting you at an advantage. If you can package yourself properly, that you actually can make money. You'll know how to make this a business because you've done all the practice.
Big time. I mean, I agree.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. I think that piece around, like, you got to get your reps in, and you can't be a pro and learn at the same time. You got to, but the pros can't learn, but they got to take that hat off. That was a bar. I see through Dina magic, of course, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think one of the things to me too that I was connecting when you were talking earlier. We had that conversation. Facts. OpenClaw founder, GitHub is the best example. Build little tools, eventually all added up. To OpenClaw. Yeah. Flips opportunities. That's fire. Just having that conversation with Ritzy, and she was saying, everybody has ideas, especially like in the creator network. We all have huge, crazy ideas, but you have to have a problem to solve. And I think for me, just talking with this conversation, it's like the problem itself could be it's a paid tool that doesn't need to be a paid tool. Like, just because we can afford it, it's still a problem that it needs to be like an open source field, an open source access and accessibility field for somebody.
Yeah, I think bringing up the OpenClaw founder and what you just said is really kind of tied together. And I loved the conversation with Ritzy. That was a dope conversation. I think that what stands out about that situation with Peter from OpenClaw is, he is a developer, so he does know what he's doing. He's leveraging AI to change the way he works, but he made a suite of like CLI tools and decided as in the matter of having an opinion. And that's why a couple of weeks ago we were talking, I was like, I think it's good to have an opinion. People need to start being more opinionated again. And he just decided, like, I think the CLI is the way to go. That's the best way to interface with your tools. And basically, without getting too technical, it's just a matter of saying that he's using the terminal on the machine to do things in a more direct way and that allows the AI to do things that it couldn't do before, and act as the user in a sense, and not have to get permission and just kind of make things happen like magic, so to speak. And that's not everybody didn't necessarily agree with that, because everybody's not using their AI on a device. So that approach didn't necessarily work for everybody. But whatever, tomato, tomato. He built all these tools single-handedly to help his agents that he already had, and then he just kind of, the light bulb moment, it's like, okay, well, I have all this stuff, let's just put it together. The magic in that, and that I think we will continue to see, that a lot of people will miss, is that people are using the expertise they already have in a certain domain and using AI to amplify that, instead of trying to use AI to give them an idea of something they really don't inherently already know about, which is a hard task. The people who are really making the magic are the people who are using AI to help enhance something they already know about in a way that they wouldn't be able to normally, either because they don't have the technical knowledge, or they're only one person, and now AI lets them get the work done of 10 people. So I think that's a key fact that I want to keep pushing, is try to apply what you already know about. Whatever it is you know a lot about, figure out how to use AI on that. And that's where your real opportunity will come from, because you'll be able to really get in there and come up with an idea that none of the rest of us could think of.
So you want to know what I was cooking up last night? Since you said that, I was brainstorming and telling Claude, telling whoever, Gemini, most of them together, to cook up a little synthesizer, some VSTs. So I was, yes, that was a mind-blowing thing right there. And I'll show y'all soon when I have a finished little build. But yeah.
I know you. I know. I send a lot of stuff in the Discord, and I know you can't watch all the stuff I send, but I'm pretty sure I posted a clip from YouTube of this guy who did that, and I wanted you to watch it specifically around this topic, because he was using his knowledge of music to do. Did you watch that? And did that help you do that?
I need to go. I'm gonna go back and see it.
Yeah, yes. And he blew up, right? Look, here's the funny thing, right?
We could do that. Yes.
he blew up. He blew up, right? Because he figured out a working relationship with Claude and Claude Code. He's not a developer, right? He doesn't know how to code anything at all. All he's ever done is just talk to Claude and Claude Code. From his conversations and just figuring out the patterns of how this thing works, he created this coding architecture called GSD, get shit done. And basically, and all the developers started, falling in love with it, because it was actually making the Claude Code follow this specific system that was making it follow their architecture, really come up with better ideas, finish their projects. Apparently it was really token hungry, so it could cost you a lot of money, but some of them had companies that are clients that were paying the bill, so whatever. But it got so popular, that framework, that the crypto people got involved, right? And they made a token, and then they got him to agree to that setup where you get percentage of every transaction. Yeah. And his whole life changed. He's like, yes, we're buying a car. He's just streaming on YouTube like, yes, I love it. Yes, keep doing it. Send me the crypto. I don't care. It was just crazy to watch. So yeah, all that to say, it all started from
crazy
him.
To watch? That's not crazy.
No,
to watch.
the journey was crazy to watch.
Yeah.
Just to watch in real time someone who is like, look, I figured out how to make an app for synthesizers, and he started to get popular for that. And then here come the crypto. Just like his whole journey was just in like 2-3 weeks, just like whoosh. But yeah, I think all that to say, I only showed it to you from the beginning, and now you will get to see like that whole journey. Even crypto ties into it, so I think you would actually really enjoy watching the whole thing.
Facts. Yeah, my brain is spinning too. Yeah, Ted said we can do that. Yeah, I wasn't connecting that either. But yeah, And then I was watching, because that's last night I was watching Claude code in C plus, C sharp, C minus minus. Like I was like, what are you doing? But bits and pieces, I was like, oh, okay, okay. I was like, yeah.
Music is code.
Yeah.
Music is code. Notes, it's just code. Like sounds mapped to key. Like it's just code.
I'm probably gonna eventually make my own DAW. Maybe. We'll see. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But my guy Z, Better Call Saul, he had made some turntables, digital turntables early on. That was like one of his first projects, like months ago. It's all tapped into the music side, just upload your tracks already in there. Making my own sampler immediately. Ted, do it and share it. Show us, man. It's easy. Yeah, man. It's what a time. I'm telling you. It's a time. It's on. What are you making? What are you making? I know you've been going crazy. Watching the bots make those P5.js, art canvases and exploration and stuff, which is wild. It's cooking over there.
Honestly, regular jobs keep me so busy. I don't have time to like do but so much. I've been tinkering a lot with the setup of the bot and like the memory and the architecture around it, but not as much as I was. It's kind of stabilized at this point. I don't have it doing any experiments like I did because I couldn't. It wasn't reliable at executing them autonomously because the little jobs the cron jobs that keep it doing things on a schedule kept having problems. So I just kind of threw that out, and so now it just does that, the little generative art stuff, and I do use it instead of like some of the bookmarking websites or whatever. I have it set up now so I can give it my links, and it knows what I want it to do with links. So it knows how to do the summary the way I want a summary. It puts it in Obsidian in the right place. It links it with any existing notes I have already. It suggests, things like that that could connect to each other. But it's I don't know. It's kind of helped me be more intentional with the things I save and not just save things because I can real quickly and let it pile up in some app because that's normal behavior. So now I have to like take the link, copy it, go into Discord, and give it to the bot, and it'll take like 30 seconds and then make its little summary and tell me, okay, I put it in your Obsidian. And it doesn't tell me like I have to go to Obsidian to read it. It doesn't put it there in the Discord. And I actually like that friction because I'm like, okay, this, this has to be something I actually want to read again or look at later. So, it's not really like a technical thing that I'm making. It's more like I'm behaviorally adjusting myself and the bot is helping me, if anything. But yeah, I'm not doing too much with it. I am doing one little code thing that I posted about. It came up with this theory when I gave it these articles and we talked back and forth about it. And it's basically a way for, if you need a tool while you're talking to your bot, it can just create the tool like while it's talking to you and then create like a little simple UI for it. Like if you needed, the example it uses is like a tip calculator or something like that while you're talking, and it'll make it right there and put it on the screen for you instead of you having to go find an app and download it or find somebody else's tool. If it's simple or basic enough, it can just make it right there for you in whatever interface you're already using and just give you like a little link, and then you use it and you can throw it away and keep it moving, or you can save it for later, that kind of thing. So it's a progression. It's a progression. I don't know if it works really yet. We're going back and forth, but that's where we are right now.
That's fire. That's fire. Callie in the building. What's going on, family? Good to see you. Hey, shout out to Callie. Callie is Hey, another one of our special super guests for undivided attention coming through sitting with us on Wednesday. Yes, yes, it's gonna be a good time. Callie's been killing it for a long time in the streaming side. It's gonna be an amazing conversation. She's tapped in, asking a bunch of questions around emerging tech, AI, blockchain, all that good stuff. So we're gonna get into a solid conversation, her backstory and how she's utilizing these emerging tech tools in her content journey. So for sure, for sure. Ted, my guy Ted, he said making his own sampler immediately. Facts, facts. Nacho W Streak family, it's good to see you. Nacho had a good question for the room. Around where'd it go? Oh, it's on this side. Okay, there we go. Wonder how copywriting will work with AI music.
I mean, it's really a broader question of how copyright is going to work with AI, everything. Yeah, not just music. I don't know. I mean, for now, everything stands as it already is. Like nothing's changing. Human input has to be required, or is required rather, because copyright is something that you can only give to a person. Copyright is something that belongs to someone, so it can't. That the previous argument that existed before AI was about ownership of a chimpanzee who had painted a picture, and they were trying to say the chimpanzee should have, and they were like, well, a chimpanzee can't have things. It can't have rights, so it can't have copyright. Like, what are you talking about? What's next? Are we giving it a deed to the house and a driver's license? Like,
I'm with it. No,
well, no, that's it. But this is how they think, and that there was a time where the same words were used against us, mind you. The same thought process. What's next? Are we giving them deeds to houses and so there's that thought process, and people will even throw that out as like a talking point for the copyright argument with AI and all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, there is a fundamental truth that software can't own something. So, the argument has to be, where is the line? Because the law is saying that it has to be significant human input. And they have already said that simply asking for something is not input. It's just the request. It's not input in the process of creating. So, and they said, even if you saw something that it gave you and say, I don't like that, change it. They said that's just another request. It's still, you did not participate in the making part. You are just the person directing them, the machine. So, yeah, and they're even saying, well, even if this question marks about people who say, well, I wrote the code. Yeah, but unless you made code that was specifically to make that one thing, when you give it the ability to make anything, and you're not involved in the making of that thing itself, like they're saying, if you want to copyright your code that you made differently on the AI, then that's a conversation. But the output that it made randomly by itself, yeah. So I think there's people who want to be able to say it's theirs. I think they also, very intelligent people can't argue with this other side of this conversation, though. Like, both things, you want something doesn't negate the logic of the other side. So it's a hard conversation. There's the whole contention of people that say get rid of copyright altogether, which is crazy because capitalism, good luck with that. So I don't know. I'm just along for the ride. Like, I don't know how it's going to play out because there's so many different factors of power involved pulling in their own directions. And I think almost all of them want to be able to have some ownership. Either the people want to be able to own what the AI is making, the companies want to be able to keep their own, everybody wants to own something. So I don't know how it plays out. Whoever has enough power to win, I guess. Game on.
But I mean, until then, it seems like you could use AI to create sections, stems, portions that you could use and import into a regular workflow, and that is still a wholly original composition or mostly original composition, or probably contains majority original composition, to be able to claim some ownership over that.
Yeah, you can do that.
And I mean, that's what we've been touting for a good long time. And I mean, I think it's still, until we get to the point where, like you're talking about, until we get to the end of the copyright issue, or there is some type of regulation or change over how people's mindset around AI, until it can potentially create something wholly original in some way, shape, or form. They kind of pushes you to get outside your comfort zone. I remember when I was doing a lot of image stuff, and I think we've been saying this for a long time: take the images, put your own spin on it. When I was all in my Photoshop bag and After Effects bag and doing a whole lot of different stuff, it pushed me to create new skills that I could use elsewhere. So for right now, yeah, even though you won't be able to put in a prompt and get something that will that you can say you own, it's gonna push you to learn more, be better, hopefully parlay that into other stuff, create a portfolio, as we said earlier, circle it back around, and continue to use it as a tool to benefit, not as just the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle of creation.
AI West. How do you feel about these people making bank on Spotify AI songs, even though they don't quote unquote own it?
I mean, that's kind of how the music business works, right? The people who make a bank normally don't own, well, nobody. The people who made the song are usually the ones making the least, and it's really crazy because it sidesteps the whole business model of like the label and all that stuff. So really, that one person is one-stop shop, and they really do make all of the money. I think it's a crazy conversation, because I think it sucks to have to be a human being trying to compete against that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a feeling about AI before that, like if you're a music artist and you're like, okay, fine, whatever, I don't care. I'm not threatened by it. I can write my own songs. Like, I'm not scared of that. Even if you feel like that, you still have now to compete against it, which is an issue. Like, you can't create at that pace, so.
But is that another conversation of like the wagon wheel versus the cars? You know what I mean? Like,
well, that it is though, because how do you really, because ultimately, as they come out against it, how do you verbalize to people that the thing that they are showing that they like, because they clearly like the shit, because they like it. They're
right.
Whatever metrics they have are showing that they like the way this stuff sounds. So what are you telling your people? Like, y'all opinions are trash. Y'all like trash. You should like me instead. Like, I don't know how's that going to win the argument. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't. It's a hard position to be in. Like, I don't know. Like, they better start doing cameos with these AI artists. Shit.
It's crazy. It's a wild time. Play Mode Games in a building. Salute. Hey, chat. What's going on, fam? It's good to see you back in the building. Yeah, as long as they're consistently showing up on top of the charts now. Yeah. Kelly had a bar there. So, sadly, the music business is corrupt as is, from live event tragedies, ticket sales, and distribution of bots. Yeah. They have their loopholes, rules, and connects to avoid most responsibility.
They should make their own. They should make their own AI bots. Like, they should deploy, all of them should use all their expertise as artists and make their own and play both sides of the game and make the best damn, and then use their voice as the bass vocal that the AI will record over top of, so it'd be even better than just using that generic stuff. Like, work both sides if they're already doing it.
Not the AI NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys, huh? If you know, you know. That's crazy, but that's actually kind of smart. But yeah, it's also kind of
imagine what they would look like for demos, like the demo creation to get shipped out to artists. even faster, which I mean continues to push what we already see, you know, with the industry and making us a little flash in the pan, you know, type of creations and things like that. But then you know, take people out of it. So
I don't know. You got your Timberlands and your Will.i.ams and I think even Pharrell maybe yeah. So it's gonna be hard for them to avoid it, just like it is like now on the movie side. You have the whole big deal with Ben Affleck and his company. His AI company signed a big deal with Netflix, and all this money changing hands because of this, and the expectation is Netflix is going to use this AI. And so, you know, like people are in this weird position because all of them are so anti-AI, but it's like, okay, well, he's a big star and he's making movies and he's directing and he's employing people. Are you going to say something and then not get cast? Like, so some of them they can't say nothing. So like, it's just a weird scenario to watch because it's hard to be the person who's up against it and not feel like you have any recourse.
But I mean, it's I feel like we have these art versus tech battles forever. Like, is this just the next stop on that? And then we just what's after that? Like,
yeah, but you can't you can't fast forward past the pain of the people who have to suffer through the change, right? So I think that's the thing. We have to acknowledge that it's happening to them. But at the same time, it's like, sorry, but you know, you can't be responsible for it either. Like, you're not. Society is not going to halt progress.
We were talking a couple of Saturdays ago. I see you were mentioning, you know, your photography journey, and it's the same type of thing. You know, like cameras and digital cameras, and there was a whole battle around that. But it's like, I think now looking at photography, some of my favorite photographers utilize the tech tools that we have now, sometimes incorporating older methods and stuff like that in creative ways. Do you think we're just going to see some artists kind of like build their brand, create their followings or extend their legacy or something like that by just thinking creatively around these new tools? Like, that's the part that I want to see, like how people kind of do that and kind of shock the audience is like, oh, okay, that's kind of fly that nobody else thought of utilizing these tools in that way. Because right now, I feel like it's very just like the trendy meme coin-ish phase of AI. People are just throwing out whatever they can. You know, we calling it slop left and right because people are just not being intentional around it, not trying to think about, you know, how I can, I don't know, world build, or I don't know, just be intentional around utilizing these new tools. So,
I mean, society is changing in a way that I think will change a lot of this stuff. And some of these opinions will be weird to people in 20 years that we even had some of these conversations, because some things will be so different. A lot of the things that, you know, as somebody who's doing art history academically, like over time, you learn the progression of a culture through its artifacts. And the biggest transformation in human history on a global scale was printed media, the printed word becoming available. And a lot of people will attribute it to just like the timeline of the printing press. But, you know, I saw this really good, you know, sort of mini documentary a week or two ago where a young lady was talking about how, you know, there was a progression from just the invention of the printing press to, you know, that timeline where this one guy, Gutenberg, in this country in Europe could not meet the demand of the world himself, especially at that time. There was no way he could. So it took, you know, over 100 some years, basically, before it really got to the point where there were pamphlets everywhere. And then there was a progression to somebody deciding, hey, wait, we can disperse pamphlets we can make news and make sure everybody knows about things. And then suddenly there became newspapers, and then there became a radio, like, and all of these things, as they became reality, changed the way that people understood the world around them. It changed the way that they created art, what they think art is. So we're in a stage where that's happening in real time at the beginning. And we probably will be alive to see some of the other side of it. And we're uniquely situated because we already kind of went through one of these with the internet. So like, you know, we're going through another one right now. So hold the hell on, shit. but yeah, so like some of what people consider to be art, just like how we kind of saw some of the transition into digital, is getting ready to shift again, because I think everything is going to become digital, believe it or not, with this generation of people who've grown up with screens and that's all they know. And they don't know the things that we grew up with at all. They have no reference to it. That's just going to get increasingly more directed in a digital direction, so to speak. So yeah, I it's not bad or good. I think we have to just accept that that's what's going to happen and realize that we've already been through this once or twice. So we're built for this. So yeah, let's just hold on.
I mean, if you know, if you're out there and you're not a fan of this tech shift and things like that, which some of us are, I'm not a fan of all of AI outputs out there, not even close. But you know, I guess just celebrate the artists, celebrate and uplift and share the artists that you love. That's, you know, cultivating the old artisanal ways of doing things, because they're gonna need it. They're gonna need your support.
But with the folks moving forward, like I guess we can call it a rapid fire question. Who is one artist that you think could benefit from using some of these tools to create
music? Oh, music specifically?
Yeah,
I had a couple of visual artists.
Like, well, not even digital artists. Like I feel like somebody like Janelle Monáe would be one of the first ones to take some of these tools, use them, you know, put our own spin on them with her voice. When I think about even how she kind of started with that whole Arc Android series, like I can see Janelle Monáe really using AI and coming in and doing some really cool stuff with it, combined with kind of more traditional music, more traditional studio stuff with that type of structure, to come in and really kind of blast a whole hole in something, drop a humongous single with, you know, getting Ja to do a whole short film with it or something like that, and really kind of show us, hey, we can use this musically, we can use this visually to create this new version, this new evolution of media. So like that whole conversation, I was thinking in my head, who would be somebody who could do something like that. And I can see Janelle Monáe really popping in and like showing us how to really put it all together.
Nacho said Daft Punk. Yeah, immediately I was thinking of like, you know, producers and EDM producers and different things like that who are already kind of on the forefront of utilizing, you know, synthesizer tech and all that good stuff. And I mean, even like a T-Pain, who's been someone who can sing, but just embrace like, you know, like auto-tune and running with that, you know, as his brand. And I think it's just people like that. Saying comments going crazy, y'all in here. Artists that are on tour trying to create albums quickly while on tour, yeah, because touring is the way that artists make money, unfortunately, in this machine that they are in.
Yeah,
there's DJs. Go ahead.
I agree. I was going to say I second all of that what you said, and I was going to point to the comment about the DJs who make mashups. Yeah, so those tools exist. There's actually a lot of them, because that side of the AI has kind of been out there for a minute. And so just to be able to chop up existing sounds or manipulate existing audio, that's already been out for a few years. So a lot of that, the models have gotten smaller and able to run, you know, in smaller environments. So you're seeing more and more apps coming out in the app stores that are offering these kinds of tools, and they're charging. They're not free. So that's another example. Like if you want to make something like that, then that's something you could do instead of paying them to make it. Like even if you had to pay, a good tool to make mobile apps right now is Replit. So you might not be able to make the whole app with them for free, but if you think about how much you would pay the subscription to use the app that you would want to use, and then you can make it yourself and just be, after you make it, you don't have to keep paying them and then you're done. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thought process I have, like, around this type of conversation. Like, if whatever it is you're interested in, just the fact that you have the question, like, there's your idea right there. So if you have the question, then you can make it.
All times. But I do feel for the artists, though. We had that conversation. Man, one of my favorite spaces with us three was what even is art, way back in the day. That was like 2-3 years ago, maybe at this point. But it's like, I feel for the artists who did have to go through the pain of learning something or perfecting something, and now it's just like, well, click of a button. But that's tech. That's technology. That's innovation. Like IC was saying, we've seen this a couple times before, so it shouldn't shock anybody. But unfortunately, it will and does. You know what I'm saying? If there was something that came out that could, like, a machine, a robot was coming out and he could play piano, I might feel away. Not gonna lie. I mean, I might be like, all right, really?
Well, that's funny though. It's funny you say that, because I
Here.
literally just read an article yesterday about the whole drama that existed when they created those pianos that could play themselves, like 100 years ago, and how there were, like, people ready to have knife fights in bars and stuff. Like they were not having that shit, because this thing was going to take their livelihood. Because there were people whose job it was to play the piano, and, like, back then, apparently that was a job you could live off of, simpler times. But yeah, just imagine that somebody just telling you, just off the random, we just got something that's gonna come in here and do all of this for you, goodbye. And all your friends start getting fired too. Y'all might start getting mad. So I mean, that's gonna happen more and more. I think there's nothing you can really do about it if you're relying on somebody else to pay you, and you can't police their pockets. Like, if they're going to be able to save money and be able to do what they need to do without the expense of you can't force them to pay you. So the only thing you can do is try to find somebody else that is willing to pay you, or figure out a way to offer your services independently to people who want to pay for that. And there will always be a market for human-made everything. That's never going to go away. So you have to just be good enough at what you do, and somehow marketing, which, that's what the AI can help you do. So, people need to not be purists to the point, like, to what Boss was suggesting before. The whole problem with that model is that in this environment, they have to be hyper-specific about how they would use AI. Like, Janelle Monáe could only use the AI in the way that you described, to, like, maybe apply to her vocals, or like to her instruments that she's using, and then she could not involve the people who do the video or the art, the images, like, because then that makes it all dirty again. Like, like, you can't. Everybody would have to kind of silo themselves off into what's acceptable, and I'm not. Maybe that's how you start, but they limit themselves, because they wouldn't be able to feel comfortable or admit that they're using it to do their marketing or their promo or their social media visuals, or, you know what I mean? So I think you're right, B, but I think that the environment and the attitudes and the way that people have to present themselves will limit some people from really taking advantage in a comprehensive way.
It's a bloodbath, but I mean, innovation in tech is like that. I don't want to say, like, survival of the fittest, but sometimes it feels like that. But I mean, I feel like that's the whole mission of why Onaji exists, so we can have these conversations, so we can tell people, and I mean, I don't want to say quote unquote warn folks, but like let people know that this is where the innovation is going. This is where the tech is going. We kind of need to play, pivot, plan, be in the know accordingly. And that's a lot of what me and Ritzy were talking about the other day too. It's like, unfortunately, sometimes we have to be these lifelong learners because tech doesn't stop. Entertainment is just one small topic in what's coming. Facts, playing games. Facts. But then again, I'm excited though, because like people in our network are building cool things. You know, they are making a name for themselves. They are, putting food on the table and things like that, building their brands. When a lot of them maybe couldn't be the traditional artist route or the traditional musician route, but are able to use these tech tools and be intentional and build and start world building. You know what I'm saying? It's really cool to see that. You know? My guy
Well,
JT, go ahead.
boss, did you see the conversation with Ritzy?
I haven't got it. I didn't get a chance to. We had an event yesterday, and so it's on my weekend stuff to take a moment to go back and watch it because Ritzy's the GOAT. We love some Ritzy, so I know it was a good combo. So I'm excited to hear what y'all was talking about.
Yeah, definitely, very good conversation. And I think to Ritzy's point, I think it's something that we should always try to remember. And I think I always approach when we talk about AI with the audience in my mind is somebody who doesn't necessarily have access to funds to pay for it or know how to get to it. So I that's why I tend to point people to free things to start, or things that don't cost too much. But I think that all lends itself to remembering that some of this is manufactured noise, right? Like the fever or the energy around it. And this is not everything that's taken over the world and everybody's lives. Most people are living their lives totally, ambivalent to this, don't really care. Maybe they've used ChatGPT a few times. It's not really changing anything in their life. And there's the whole conversation about, oh, it's coming. But I will always remind people to think about who's saying that when they see that conversation and what kind of vested interest they have in saying that and having that conversation and stirring that pot. Who's saying it, basically. Because it's never like the people who, with the exception of one, it's never the people who actually are the employers themselves saying, this is happening right here to our environment. It's really a lot of the influencer people that are just, they get a lot of energy from having that conversation and the engagement that comes with it. And we are ways away from pervasive mass change and all of us sitting at home with universal basic income trying to figure out what life means. That's not tomorrow. We've probably got at least on an aggressive cycle 10 years, but maybe 15. So you've got time, everybody. You've got plenty of time. Everybody relax.
That sounds like a short amount of time to me. That sounds like a tiny little fraction. Hey, that's all good. Maybe that's I don't know. That's the parent perspective in me right there. Like 10 years, boom, that's right to be there.
Yeah, Nacho. Nacho said they put us in the meat grinder before they get. So we won't get UBI, like real UBI, but they'll figure it out because they can't just. They're going to not need people to do a lot of jobs, and that's going to happen. So whether it's all kind of in a weird volunteer manual labor, like I don't know, what do you prefer? Like work camp? You I would like to hope that it's UBI and just kind of pretend that's where we're going. But we're all gonna find out together.
We better have some open and clear channels of communication when we need them. We're gonna have to AI code that. I bet that might be a good idea to start. I think no, I did see somebody that's been kind of there's a prompt out there like code me like my little mini Discord, my own little mini Discord server thing. So might be on the right track. Not just stretch the rich and powerful to take care of the poor. Yeah. Playable games. So honestly, it could be much less. 5 years of development in that sector is like 10 years. Yeah. Elites do not give an F about us. That's why we need good regulations. But I mean, even like that, like regulations, like a lot of times, like we were talking about the music side, like they ski skirt around it, loopholes, whatever they can do, Sometimes we just gotta scare them. Not just kidding.
Yeah, where do you think regulations come from?
It'll happen quicker than we think. Just try to remember the last time you went to a bank to deposit a paycheck. Yeah, exactly, Ted. Exactly. But like IC said, there's a whole majority of global population out there that just living their lives.
Truly. Like for me, talking back to me when I've been knowing about Notebook LLM for a good long time. Experiment a little bit with it. It's continued to grow to what it is. And then the fact of the matter that I created something with it, and then everyone was like, oh, how did you do this? Show us how. It continues to have me think like, I was like, I thought we all used this already. So not quite. I mean, I feel like there's still a whole lot of people who, like we talk about, are just now using ChatGPT and things like that. I think that a lot of the media surrounding AI is still very much, in a negative frame. So until that changes, and until we see people using it in positive ways, until we see people using it to benefit others, I think people are still going to take their time getting there. And though it may continue to develop on the back end, it's still, it might take them 5 years to put it together, but it might take them 10 for us to find a tool or for it to be used in a way that's going to benefit large amounts of people.
Huge facts.
Or be able to reliably offload large amounts of jobs. That's a big undertaking to be able to have reliability on a mass scale. And this is the thing, you have to think broadly. And I say this in relation to the comment about it could be 5 years because of the pace of the technology and all of that, right? There's always more to it than just the one piece of the puzzle, right? So even if you were to have this thought process that AI is going to take all the jobs, right? Okay, so if nobody has a job, then how are they getting paid? And if nobody's getting paid, then what are these people? What are these AI? What job are they doing for what? Are they making products? Because who's going to buy the products with no jobs? How does that work? Make this circle square. So some of this, we have to start realizing that even some of the positions that we repeat are messaging that is being sent to us that we see on social media, and we just parrot back out, right? And we have to stop and slow down and really think about the whole picture. And that's why I say, think about who's saying these things to us and who's telling us these things. The AI is going to take our jobs. Okay, I would love for it to take our jobs. I don't want to work, but there's not a world where nobody works, where there's still a reason for the job to exist. If nobody works, then what job? Why have a job? What is the AI doing a job for? We're gonna be out in the streets on purge mode on the daily. It's Mad Max in the Thunderdome time. The AI is only going to be running the robots that try to keep us off the streets. So and you're talking about, if anybody wants to talk about elites and rich people, well, okay, capitalism has a structure. It's worked for this many centuries for a reason. And you have to have levels and tiers. You can't just have everybody poor and nobody there has to be levels. You can't just have all rich at one access level and then all poor at the same level. You gotta have a ladder that people feel like they can climb up. It's all psychological. There's thought process behind it. In order for them to stay where they are, they have to keep the tiers in place. They have to have a ladder structure. So they'll figure out the ladder structure, whatever that's going to look like. But it won't look like what it looks like now. We won't be doing the jobs that we do now. Whatever that's going to look like, they haven't figured the shit out either. So I couldn't have the answer for you. But that's why I say, give it 10 years. Maybe they'll use AI to help them find the answer. But it won't be as simple as the technology progressing at a fast rate. It's more than the technology. There's the logistics of managing people. And what do you do with 9 billion people? You can be rich and powerful, but if you don't have something for those people to do, it doesn't matter.
That's a bar. That's a mic drop. Not to say AI is not going to unplug your toilet. Well, I doubt it will in my lifetime. Thought it'd be insanely expensive. Funny part about that, side note, so Isaac threw follow up to Isaac threw a great point. I recently, had to go to a hardware store and got the snake myself. I was tired of it. It was kids, man. Figured that out. So I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be right there with Nacho. We got the toilets on lock for the homies. Just kidding.
I'm telling you, y'all not ready because the robots are really when things are going to change, and the robots are coming. They're already pricing the ones that they're trying to sell now. Like they got the cheap model for $10K right now. It's going to come down. So there's going to be
$10K is not even expensive for what.
Yes, yes. And it's not the one that can walk you to the store and cool. But just to think that if you have $1,000, $2,000 in 5, 6, 7 years, you can have some kind of robot in your house that does things for you. Like that's going to change just the same way everybody has a smartphone. And there was a time where everybody didn't have a smartphone. There was a tier system. Like you couldn't afford, you had a dumb phone, and then if you had money, you had a smartphone. Now everybody has a smartphone. So it's just the way things change, and that's when the way that people think about AI will become so background because AI is going to be what runs those robots, and people are going to want the robots. You can say what you want. All the AI all the AI movies where everything is going bad. We all gonna want them robots because we gonna want a slave. We've been conditioned to think that people should own things and have power and ownership, and we're gonna want the power of having something that can work for us and that we can tell it what to do. And that's a human thing. It's a cultural thing that whether we've been on the right or wrong side of it, we've been conditioned to think ownership is a thing.
Talk about coming full circle.
I just want a little robot homie companion. You know what I'm saying? Let's build something together, little friend. Friend, homie, friend. Don't forget me. Don't forget me. Nah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. And that's right around the corner. I'm like every time, hey, CES comes in Vegas, I'm like, oh Lord. Every year. Like, okay. It's here. It's all here. I want my robot to be okay. Sure. Okay. And at that, I'm just kidding. Shout out to y'all, man. Oh, no, you Saturday. Y'all be cooking. I love it. I'll be having so much fun with y'all. Chat was going in. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I mean, clear lines of communication, y'all. We gonna need them. Set reparations. Yeah. Fortunately, I think that's just gonna help the rich get more rich.
Well, if you have children or you want to have children, the best thing you can do is encourage them to spend time with other people and do things in person with people as much as possible. And it's going to be weird to some of them because it's not going to be natural, depending on how old your children are when you start having them. But do it anyway. Make them.
I'm begging you, as an educator, socialize your kids. Please. as much as
Exactly.
you can. Let them talk to others. Put them in situations that make them uncomfortable now. Please help us out.
Crazy how the COVID kid just got screwed on social skills. Yeah. Whole next generation versus course. But I mean, all right. So, all right. Nah, the kids is gonna be all right. You know, I'm
They
over
will
here in this
no.
live stream journey.
They
The
certainly
kids is all
will.
right. The kids are all right.
They certainly will. They will usher us into all types of brand new things that we never thought imaginable. But
Facts.
you still need those opportunities. They still do need those opportunities to communicate one on one because they will not have an AI that's going to be able to speak for them.
As a student of history, it is not a given that the kids will be all right. There have been some bad generations of humans out here who've done some bad things.
But was it the whole generation, or was it just like
It was enough of them.
extreme?
It was
Uh-oh.
enough
You're
of
right.
them.
Like I said, clear lines of communication for the majority of and critical thinking. We've been talking about that as well too. That's been coming up a lot in these last few weeks. Critical thinking skills. Wow.
Which I think you get from having to manage the way you interact with other people that you can't control, because if you only deal with your own thoughts and your own processes and some device, there's no unpredictability in that. There's nothing that forces you to improvise the same way another person will. And so that's where that comes from. And that's why, to Boss's point, like, I'm dealing with them at the higher education level where they've already come through there and still messed up, or can't figure out how to have a conversation. Like, it's not a given that they are going to be all right. There's so many of them that are not all right now. They are not all right.
Yeah. Pretty girl in the building. What's going on, family? You good? Welcome in. That's what's up. No, y'all right. But it can't be all doom and gloom. Shout out to my guy Nacho. He said, the dark ages, it leads to enlightenment.
No, that's why
Ebbs
we're
and flows.
saying socialize them, get them.
Yeah.
And that's even if you're a parent, like you let's say you're a little older and you have children that are at college age. Okay, if this is the time, like if you never kind of made them go to the family reunion, or like try to socialize them even within the family. Like, do what you didn't do when they were younger. Try now.
A couple of my generation have been okay, Ted. All right. You're fine. Too funny, man. Build all the things, y'all. Create, create and consume. You make it, you use, you choose. Create connections and socialization too. That's another creation.
It's not too late, even though we're saying, like, we're letting y'all know, like, look out for these kids, even the teenagers and some of the older ones, because maybe somebody thought they were going to be all right and they're not. So let's help them out. Let's make sure that somebody's watching.
Oh, family, I'm dying. Yo, but my battery's about to die. Big facts. It's 11:30. We done cooked up. We're gonna save some for these next couple days, next Saturday as well too. You guys are all amazing. No, I see through Dina Magic, Boss 2.0, Dina Coms. Yeah, cooking up, man. I'm on RGB, Brian. I'm on Naji University. Y'all, we've been having these conversations, these types of like fire conversations since February 2022 on these Saturdays, man. This is our longest running segment. So we'll catch y'all again, of course, next Saturday, 10 a.m. PST. We're on this live streaming journey, so you'll see more of us throughout the week. This week coming up, Smack Dab celebrating Women's Her Story Month, and all that energy. I'm having a blast, but we're gonna have Sam Sababa on Monday. We're gonna have Callie, who's in the chat. It's good to see you, Callie. We're gonna sit down with her and learn more about her journey. That's gonna be an amazing conversation if you can't already tell from the chats. That's on Wednesday, 10 a.m. And then I've got another Friday special guest as well too. So yeah, next week's gonna be jam-packed. It's gonna be amazing. We'll fill in the blanks in between Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, around 10 a.m. PST, as long as nothing else is going on. But yeah, here we go. So yeah, I just want to get that out. We can keep going. My laptop's about to die. The phone's cool, so I don't know, boss. I think you got the ability to shut it down if we need to, right after that goes. So yeah. What else? What else
But
is
no,
up
I
for
mean,
sure?
that was good. That was good. I'm a, you know what I mean? I'm back in my notes game. Like I'm sitting down, I'm gonna break it up, and you know, you'll see it throughout the week. We covered a gamut of stuff. So always the good conversations. We're all back in the building, and even when it's just always good stuff. I'm super excited for these undivided attentions coming, and then you know, being back and seeing what we start heading into the summer with. I know it's been like an AI spring. We're gonna have an AI summer. We're gonna have an NFT summer. We're gonna have a crypto. Where's Bitcoin at again? You know, so can't wait to see what's coming. I can't wait to get back in the cut, like get back in the mix.
Something's gonna happen. There's the energy is building again. You know, Boston need a part 2. Absolutely.
Yes,
yeah, y'all need. Yes. Some comments here and there and all that good stuff. Yeah, we gonna be in there. So yeah, it's create all the things, man. My brain is going crazy just connecting the dots from, you know, it's my web journey from 20 years ago. It's nuts. You know. So, but hey, advancements in tech will do that. We'll do that to you real quick. So yeah. Chat build all the things, man. Ted, I want to see that, you know, that synthesizer, because I was shocked. And I was like, realized that, yes, we can do those types of things as well too. So build all the software, you know. There's a bunch of people in chat now. Shout out to y'all for coming through. I see through was saying in the beginning, you know, we don't really need to try to think so hard around utilizing these tools and, you know, to try to think about, you know, of course a lot of us is out here trying to get to the bag, you know, that's a thing, but just create for the love of creating, create different things, you know, to solve different problems that you may have, build tools that you're using, and you'll be surprised how many people resonate with that, and put your work out there. Always put your work out there, so you can see that growth. And I was talking to my guy. I talk to my guy Better Call Saul every morning. Shout out to my guy Z. But he was telling me he was looking through some of his old journals and stuff. He's already brainstorming with Gemini. My guy, that's what's up. Z has been doing his journaling thing, and he's been looking back at the past year. And so he was opening up his journal, and he sent me the journal entry from last year from Pi Day, and it was basically, you know, just putting him into alignment on a lot of what he's been building now, like take notes, be intentional around your growth, lifelong learner, you know. And he's like, dang, I'm hitting so many of these metrics. I wouldn't even known if I didn't look back at this journal entry. It's like, man, those types of things are milestones, because that's inspiration right there, and it pushes you to continue, pushes you to keep going, and there's only just going to be exponential growth that comes out of that. So I'm just proud of the whole network. Y'all have been cooking. I was so glad to see Boss back in the building. I know, you know, Boss has been going crazy. Doing amazing things.
I did not give an update last week. I forgot to give an update because the day went long. I had said last week I was at state competition. 2 weeks before that, we were at regionals. We took grand champion home for regionals, so we were regionals. But then we turned around and we took it home for state. So my middle school babies are state champions.
All right,
I know, very exciting. Very exciting. This year was a struggle, but we made it through. And now we are done. All I got to do is plan a banquet and we will be finito. But yes, that was an update from that. So that had me running up and down the road and judging and teaching and stuff like that. But just a quick update over there on the dance side, because we still 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 1. And these knees, until these knees say stop.
That's fire. No, huge congrats, big dubs. That's awesome. That's a feat.
I try to send you something on the back channels to look at.
No, I saw it. I did see it. There was a lot. That's a lot going on over there. I'm very familiar with that company. I actually auditioned for that company not too long ago. Well, can't say not too long ago. That was a long time ago. But in the not so far future. I mean the not too distant past. But no, I saw that and I was like, that's a multi-million-dollar company. Like you need
and so what? And what's your point?
I didn't know it, and I knew if I said that you were gonna be like, okay, so what about it?
I understood that when I sent it to you, right? I know what I sent to you, and I know who I sent it to.
Hey,
I got you. I'm with you. I'm right here. We see each other.
So I might send you some more things. So don't act scared.
I just know I need to make sure that they let me be free on Saturdays and Wednesdays so I can be back in the cut. And these 6 weeks away have been no bueno over here for me. So whatever you see it, make sure, or at least I can tell them I need Saturdays and Wednesdays for me because I got places to be.
There you go. I mean, you know, you ain't missed much. You know, the Onaji fan was still trucking, still going crazy. Well, everything else is sunsetting around us. Like what? I didn't even touch on that today. My guy Z, he told me POAP is going into maintenance mode. POAP is done. Yeah, really? Man. Like, why? But you know,
that was the era.
Yeah, that was a good time.
So what happens with I guess whatever you had, you know, saved in your wallet? Does it? I mean, none of it really mattered anyways.
Wow, here we go.
No, sorry,
it's still there in your wallet because it's on chain. But just the infrastructure of being able to create new POAPs from there. I say, geez, wait, nah, man. No, it mattered to me because, like, you know, I got a couple of old OG Jaden Violet things in there. And I think, you know, as he continues to grow the community, but that's the point. That was the whole point around blockchain, in my opinion, was these communities, but the communities had to continue growing for the early stuff on chain to matter. That's the entire point.
So we'll edit that out. So what I was saying was it all still has the perceived value that it always had.
But still, isn't that we had that conversation though. That's value around anything.
Exactly.
Okay. All on board.
So if it mattered to you then, it should still matter to you now because it's worth exactly what it always was. That's how I'll phrase it.
Whatever it is. Right. Okay. Hey, Ms. B, I saw your chat. I got you. But Sheezy. That's what's up. Yeah, boss. I think, did we talk about Rodeo a little bit or no? Like Rodeo, Rodeo's done. Rodeo's done.
No, I feel like you were talking about it in a Saturday that I was able to like just listen in. I did, you know, I think I did hear the Rodeo was done. Yeah.
Rodeo's done. Farcaster's losing steam.
Oh,
Base app is thrash. They messed that all up. It's been a time these past couple of weeks, not gonna lie.
And you just said I didn't miss nothing.
Not anything like
Farcaster are like on the downward slope. So that's why Orb is popping up, huh?
Yes. And I'm like, yes, let's go. Because I'm an OG over there. So let's go. Yeah.
Very clear.
Oh no. Oh, there we go.
What is popping up? You said Orbit?
Orb is the iOS app for the Lens chain. It's another decentralized. It's Farcaster's competitor, essentially.
And they're doing well all of a sudden?
Yeah, it's the same, you know, threads, Exodus, Elon comes type of vibe, same type of vibe.
Are they doing something with AI by chance?
Yes, they are bots. And we got the bots popping up, talking to them over there. Yes, the devs are dev.
Oh, no wonder, huh? Okay.
This guy.
No.
This guy.
It's just funny because I was literally going to say, like, really, this is just all finance. You know that. Yeah. That's really why I joke like that, because if you think about who was backing a lot of this stuff, it was inevitable that it would have a come down because it's all based on profitability cycles, right? And once they aren't able to show that they can generate revenue, even if they're not profitability, they're not profitable rather as an entity themselves, like the company, the rodeo doesn't have to be profitable. They just have to be able to pay back the VC who gave them money, right? As long as they're able to get money off of them and maybe some more on top of it, is really the goal. That's the only way they'll put more money back into them. So once they can't see any viability there for them to either get something that they, get what they put in back plus some more, if that's not an option anymore, that's kind of dried up for them. So somebody has to be able to show where the money would come from. And it can't just be user based, because it's not really quite the same thing when you just have a wallet, and you could try to create user data around the interactions and all the other stuff by making it social media. But then a lot of them are promising not to be the big bad social media that does all of that with the data. So you can't make money like that. So AI, the reason I asked that question is because of the way my brain works. Is like the only way that it can make money right now is if they inject something with AI into it. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that seems the only route that's available, because that's where the VCs are willing to pump money right now.
Right.
So I was just going to say, if somebody wants to do something with crypto that for the sake of making money, then, it's not because I'm the AI guy, but I'm really just saying, just looking at the market, like common sense would say, you want to connect AI to whatever you're doing. Yeah. And that's when you'll get somebody's attention who has money and wants to give it to something.
Yeah, but it's still, but they're doing it a solid way. But they have examples of the right way to do it. So it's like, not being first to market sometimes is a blessing. But we'll see. I'm not in charge, so anybody they can fumble. But I don't think so. Knock on wood. You know what I'm saying?
Is it essentially like trading bots? Like, they're using it to make money?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, but that's the intention, or they just haven't figured out how, or
the developer that's getting the most attention with his bot, he's a creative through and through. I think he's from France or something. So he's not really he's approaching this differently than I'm an American capitalist. So I'll just say that. That's all.
And so on Orb, as far as what people trade, are they trading like posts, like art, or videos, or?
Yeah, it's kind of at this point like throw everything in the kitchen sink in it. So you can do predictions, you can do like stickers, you can do NFTs right in the feed, you can do collecting the posts right in the feed, you can actually do fundraisers in the feed, you can literally do actually everything. And I've tried a bunch of the different things, and it works really well.
You can do predictions in the feed.
Yes, the prediction, of course, prediction markets is right there.
So when you say in the feed, you mean like like if I wanted to post a poll, but instead of a poll, it's a
prediction.
Yeah, and so
it's actually grouped with the poll. Yeah.
So anybody, that's where my brain went. It had probably a poll, but yeah. So anybody who sees me in the in their timeline could participate with crypto basically, and bet on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's just one time, yes, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it's probably not that tiny, but
no, it is. Not a lot of people. There's not a lot of predictions.
Oh, I'm about to think, I don't really feel like Orb has thousands of users, but
so these people haven't figured out that they can do that over there yet. Then
they haven't even figured out it's a thing. The whole app is a thing yet. The whole protocol is a thing yet. We're all focused on the purple side. Not Twitch.
So is this you like so easy way? Like you could easily make some TikTok and some YouTube shorts and go viral, just showing people how to do all of this, and probably like make a hellacious mess of that whole network. But you would be a star. Do you want to be a star, B? I can make you a star.
I'm already a star. G. I'm already a star.
Well, do you
No,
want to
I'm
be a
just
bigger
kidding.
star with a lot of money?
I think every star wants to be a bigger star. Yeah, with more money. Yeah.
Then you need to start making these videos.
I just want people. I just want right
Do you
now the
want the
prediction market
money?
side.
Do you want the money?
Of course, the prediction market side is in the AI slop section. It's not in the intentional doing anything, predicting anything worthwhile at this current point.
You're
We're
thinking
just,
about this way too hard for somebody that wants the
of
money.
course. Oh, well then maybe I showed my hand. I don't know. Maybe I showed my hand.
I try to tell him to speak. I've been trying to tell him for years.
We've been trying to tell you for years. Nah, see, I see through. You said earlier, I'm gonna send boss all the stuff to build. I'm gonna send you some stuff to build. How about that?
I have my own issues that keep me from doing
Yeah, okay.
things, but I'm better at pushing than finishing my own stuff.
But yes, I am getting comfortable at the short form content and long form content. So yeah, we might. But I love Orb. I don't want to ruin it. I'll be sad if I ruined it.
It's going to die anyway, so
You're
It's
not
not
gonna
gonna
ruin
die.
it. Like,
Whoa, hey,
no,
it
if
might as well be you. So,
but if you go
That's
viral, then
crazy.
people will be excited to go see what's going on over there. So you're pulling users.
no, and that's right, because I'm only somewhat joking about the method. I am not joking about making the videos. I'm not joking about talking about those things. I wouldn't say to focus on just that one aspect so that you would only draw that audience, but you definitely need to highlight it because you want to draw that audience. But anyway, we could talk the strategy if you want to, but the point is you are telling me in real time there's a network that has all the things that a lot of people would love to play with that people just haven't figured out it's there yet. If you aren't seeing anybody make those videos, that's how this game works now. If you're the first, then you go viral because you have to go viral because everybody's going to share your video because you're the first. So the issue is keeping the momentum, and you happen to continue to find another thing to talk about to either be the first or the first to talk about, or first to review, or whatever. That's a whole other kind of pressure. I ain't about that life.
Yeah.
But
so
That's not because that's right up B's alley anyway. I feel like that's right up B's alley anyway. And now we're gonna start ganging up because he's already been doing that. Like you're the one who are always, you've been on the streaming, you've been on the platforms, you're talking to the devs behind all this stuff. You're the number one person for it.
All right. Maybe I got a nice little topic for tomorrow then. 10 a.m. we doing an Orb deep dive. And then we're gonna cut all that out. Let's get it. Ruzi, my guy, what's the word, family? How we doing? What's good, Onaji? Think about the eyes on Onaji. Okay, hey, Ms. V know how to get. All right, y'all. I see it. Okay. That's a solid idea. You know what? And hey, Orb needs users, so hey, why not? If they want users, they didn't specify the type of demo that they want, so that's on them. No, just kidding. But no, the Onaji network right now is all all home team, all conscious, diverse Jedis out here, right? But if it goes viral, hey, I don't know who's gonna see it.
We're here to support. We're here to support.
Yeah, feeling good. How are you, man? I'm doing amazing. Ruzi, we cooked up. Not gonna lie, Onaji Saturday has been our longest running segment, man. We've been doing these Saturday calls, having these go-to conversations since February 2022, man. I got two of my OG right hands in the building, Boss 2.0, Dina Combs. I see through Dina Music. Wow, I almost said music. Dina Music, you the Dina Music now. Okay, let's get it. Dina Music and Dina Magic, Dina AI, Dina Biz. His
music
Dina,
is in bad shape. Maybe if I pick in the playlist,
That'll work. We'll take it. So, Ruzi, how's everything going your way, man? You about to start up stream? What's going on, man? You've been killing it. Love watching your journey, bro. Like, yeah, we're gonna have to sit down too soon for undivided attention. Really, that's gonna be a go-to conversation bit. So, yeah, it's good to see you. I appreciate you always coming through and showing love. But yeah, we talking about new little social platform, new little social. Actually, you know what? I see you kind of right because it's got like everything in it. It's got all the best parts of Rodeo. It's got all the best parts of crypto blockchain. It's got all the best parts of Kalshi, if we can even say there's some best parts in that. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did my first prediction on that app. I did it. I bit the bullet. I did it. I tried it. I'm not gonna lie. They baited me and they got me, and I ran my first prediction. I'll talk about all that tomorrow.
And so I'll just say this. You know I be knowing. And I be knowing before the rest of them. So I'm trying to tell you, like I be trying to tell you. So I'm telling you right now in front of everybody. Do it. Do it. And don't have any apprehension at all about, and you might have just been joking, but if you weren't, if it goes viral, I got you covered. I can pull bandwidth out of my reserves. And I'm capable of a lot. I got you covered. And that's the whole thing. Like, all you got to do is handle the front of the house. Stream, smile, dance for the people.
wait, yo. I lost 2K out.
No, but I'm saying, no.
Dance for the people is crazy.
But like, if something pops off and there's something that, you know, I can focus on a thing. But, you know, if we just like broadly, you know, wanting to do things, I struggle there. But if something's popping off, I got you covered. So just go viral. You got support.
Just go viral is crazy, because you know what's gonna happen.
That's easy.
We gonna go viral,
especially when it's new.
2K on couch, yeah, Nacho, you gotta stay away from that.
Oh,
you can't come over to 5G. I'm gonna have to tell them to put in the ability to like on a user level take out the functionality that they don't be needing to see. But actually, they should have that already, because if it's like age gated, then they shouldn't be able to see that type of content anyway. Maybe I should build my own little social app.
So you do a mini docu-series with Nacho where you do some interviews and you really get in there and dig deep about how this happened. How'd you lose this 2K? How's it impacting?
I mean, that's really easy. That's a W stream. That's a W stream idea.
Let me take off my manager's hat.
Nah, put that back on. Put that back on, man. Production, let's get it. Send me a script out. Hey, let's go.
Like, boss, write us some NDAs.
No, ready. I was already being like, Yavin would be the comments crossover. Like, I got the question. Be up here asking. I can be in the back, hitting the comments to put it up. I'll chop it up like I'm about to go do this. Let's go. You got your team. We ready.
So I'm not gonna lie. Put it on Kamala, winning popular vote in America. Oh. That's crazy. I don't know if that's not funny.
You could have knocked that out though.
You run the soundboard. Doves. Boop boop be-doop. Shout out Davis B. 70% chance of winning popular vote. Yeah.
Oh, Nacho, are you American?
And with that, this is
no. I'm asking because that matters about the perspective of somebody's expectations.
I mean, does it though?
Yes, it does.
It looked like a landslide from in the house and outside the house, global, across the water, whatever. It looked landslide-ish, and it was not. He said, "I got played." Repeat the question.
No, I was asking if you. I didn't know, so I was asking if you, because we have some international audience members. So I was asking if you are American, and I was curious, like if you weren't, like, how did you get your information on those predictions, and what made you want to vote, and all that kind of stuff. That's where I was going with it.
And as he said, I'm crying. No, it didn't. So she's telling me my algorithms have me in a silo. It's all good. He said, yes, sir. You guys are amazing. I love it. Another cook. He said he's deep in the politics. Yeah. Well, all right, Nacho, we're going to have a conversation, man. We'll get into all of that. Because you shouldn't be deep in politics and gambling. That's you know. I'm just kidding.
You should probably see a doctor about the politics problem.
Not the gambling problem. Hey, Hey, I knew as soon as Freedom, because the theme song became the theme song we were cooked. Addiction, hey, well, let's get you some help. Let's get you some help, Deja. All right, family. Let's get off on out of here. 2 hours in, you guys are amazing. I love it. Shout out to y'all, chat. Shout out to my amazing co-host in the building. You know, we back next Saturday, 10 a.m. PST. Find me tomorrow. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. PST. We'll be talking all about Orb. Getting in there, trying to drive some viral content. Let's get after it. You know what I'm saying? W stream. Have a good day, y'all. You too. Now, shout out to you, Ted. Shout out to you, Ninja. Hey, Miss Me in the building. It's good to see all y'all, man. All right, y'all. Boss, will you go ahead and hit that in stream for me?
I got you.
Hello, family. Y'all be good. We out of here. Peace. 10 a.m. tomorrow. Catch us.